This is a story about one of the greatest freedom fighters who ever lived, Chairman Fred Hampton. Great because his work and worldview line up with the best historical and international efforts to rid the world of all exploitation and oppression. It is also a story about the struggle to name the 2300 block of West Monroe Street in Chicago Chairman Fred Hampton Way in his honor. To begin to tell the story of Chairman Fred Hampton, let's begin with the trek of his ancestors from the interior of Africa through trails lined on both sides with the bleached bones of those who did not make it to the waiting slave ships. History has recorded the first slave rebellion in the so-called New World to the first place slaves were taken. Rebellion persisted despite the most horrific penalty for resistance. There were the Maroons, those runaway slaves who set up communities outside the slave territories, many of whom were never re-enslaved. Resistance to slavery and oppression persisted with many unknown as well as famous freedom fighters, such as Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, John Brown, W.E.B. Du Bois in the early 1800s, Marcus Garvey in the early 20th century, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X in the 1960s. Dr. Du Bois, pictured with the great Chinese revolutionary Mao, persisted from the 1800s down to the 1960s. The 1950s and 60s spawned the most widespread resistance to oppression in the United States. Many, including the powers that be, proclaimed that nonviolent protests broke up Jim Crow segregation, but others maintained that it was the ever-increasing militancy and threat of more sophisticated armed insurrection and revolution that changed things in America.
I'm a man that was in the nonviolent movement. Faced dogs and bombs, and they ate us up. Faced billiard clubs and cauliflower where they shocked us and paralyzed us. And they didn't give up nothing. Threw bombs in our churches when we were praying and singing love songs and begging the white man to change and marching down the streets singing love songs and we shall overcome. What did they do? They put their vicious dogs on us and tore the flesh off our children. They beat us with clubs and broke our teeth off, bust our skulls, bust our ribs, and put us in jail and made us suffer like animals, all because we wanted to be free. And this government did not budge. They did not budge. I stood with Martin King. The cracker in Mississippi, in Alabama, in Georgia, in New York, wherever we demonstrated Cicero. They did not budge. They did not give up a crumb. They would not even act like they wanted to give up a crumb. Matter of fact, they laughed at us as they beat us and kicked us and bombed us by day and by night. We prayed for them for 400 years. That didn't work. We were nonviolent to them, turned our cheek and everything else we had to them. That didn't work. We started saying that we wanted freedom for our people. We wanted some power. When you look around the world and you see what revolution is, and you see what everybody in the world who came from under imperialism have had to do, you'll see exactly what you got to do.
Many militant and revolutionary organizations sprang up in the 1960s. One of the most revolutionary and advanced ones was the Black Panther Party, founded by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California in 1966. Chapters of the Black Panther Party spread around the country. Chairman Fred Hampton organized the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. It was the nation's largest chapter, and many agree that it was the most revolutionary chapter of them all. One of the greatest treasures of that period of resistance is that we can hear the enduring worldview of 21-year-old Chairman Fred Hampton out of his own mouth.
They had black people and white poor people and red poor people and Puerto Rican poor people and Latin American Puerto Rican people of poor people of all descents. They had them caught up in movements based on racism when the Black Panther Party stood up and said that we don't care what anybody says. We don't think you fight fire with 5 fists, we think you fight fire with water. We stood up and said we're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys like this and reactionary state's attorneys like Hanrahan with any other reactions on our part. We're going to fight their reactions where all of us people are getting together and have an international proletarian revolution. And that's saying all power to the people. That's saying that no matter what color you are, there's only 2 classes. And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back because this is lower, this is upper. This is the oppressed, this is the oppressor. This is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly, I hate Indians. So we fighting amongst each other. And why they want to get rid of me? Because I'm saying something that might wake up some other exploited people and some other oppressed people. And if all these people ever get together, then these pigs that are exploiting us, we'll be able to run them into the lake. That's why they want to get rid of us. I'm a part of the organization. It will be the first organization they'll move on because I happen to be a part of the organization, the Black Panther Party. That is the only organization, in fact, that has came out and stood up loud and clear and said that we don't care what anybody says, whether they have guns or not and badges or 18 uniforms. If whenever they step outside the bounds of legality into the bounds of illegality, then we'll blow their brains out if they're bothering the people. And what makes them mad about that? They're constantly bothering the people. Anybody that's out there for the protection of the people happens to be in direct conflict with them. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here. You got pigs of all colors, you know that. You got pigs that are white, you got pigs that are black, you even got pigs that are black and white. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism because fascism will stop us all. What we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. A lot of times I wanted for it to be possible for people to be free under capitalism. I wanted for socialism to be able to be brought about through means other than violent means. But those were times when I was trying to be subjective. I was looking at things and trying to make them the way I wanted to make them be. And what we're saying is that we're more than people that are for armed struggle. We're people that are for armed struggle for the purpose of bringing on the people's revolution, for the purpose of setting up initially a socialistic state, and for the purpose, secondarily, of advancing into what you could call utopia or what we would call a communist state. We in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley, we say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I'd be in the offices every day. I'd be in the streets propagandizing every day. I'd be working with everybody every day. I'd be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. I'm the first move that they'll make.
Do you think that the FBI used the state's attorney's office at all to further their own ends?
Looking back, there's no question. At the time, we didn't think of it that way. We received information from the FBI about some illegal activity. We obtained a search warrant, and the police officers went in and served the search warrant.
Is it possible that the FBI used local law enforcement to do some of their dirty work?
Well, I don't know if it was exactly dirty work, but let's just say that they probably didn't want to get involved in it, and they used local law enforcement. There's no question they did.
Isn't it true that your men usually use tear gas in situations such as this, and why didn't they use it this time?
No, that is not true.
It is not true?
They came with a murder on their mind.
Heard a knock on the door. He said, policeman told us to open up. And Mark Clark, he said, just a minute, he got up. And next thing I knew, they had busted into the door. They came in shooting. They shot me, they shot Mark Clark.
The best account that I can give is the room that I was in and the actions of things surrounding me personally, you know. First thing I remember when I woke up was a knock on the door, and it was only a matter of seconds. In fact, I'd say it was less than 5 seconds that I heard, you know, shots. Now, the thing that struck me was that I not only heard shots, but I can see plaster coming out of the walls in my room. So I knew the bullets were coming through the room that I was in. I was hit 5 times. I was hit 2 times in the stomach, 1 time in the leg, and I was hit, grazed in each hand.
Someone came into the room, started shaking the chairman. Said, Chairman, wake up, the pigs are vamping. Still half asleep, I looked up, and I saw bullets coming from, it looked like the front of the apartment, from the kitchen area. They were, pigs were just shooting. And about this time, I jumped on top of the chairman. He looked up. Looked like all the pigs converged at the entranceway to the bedroom area, the back bedroom area. The mattress is just going, you could feel the bullets going into it. I just knew we'd be dead, everybody in there. When he looked up, just looked up, he didn't say a word, and he didn't move, except for moving his head up. He laid his head back down to the side like that. He never said a word, he never got up out the bed. The person who was in the room, they kept hollering out, stop shooting, stop shooting. We have a pregnant woman or a pregnant sister in here. At that time, I was 8.5 to 9 months pregnant. My baby was to be delivered in 2 weeks. Pigs kept on shooting. So he kept on hollering out. Finally, they stopped. They pushed me and the other brother by the kitchen door and told us to face the wall. Heard the pig say, he's barely alive, or he'll barely make it. I assumed they were talking about Chairman Fred. So then, they started shooting the pigs, they started shooting again. I heard the sister scream. They stopped shooting. Pig said, he's good and dead now. The pigs were running around and laughing, they were really happy, you know, talking about Chairman Fred is dead. I never saw Chairman Fred again.
Before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. I believe that I'm going to do my job, and I believe that I was born not to die in a car wreck. I don't believe I'm going to die in a car wreck. I don't believe I'm going to die from slipping on a piece of ice. I don't believe I'm going to die because I got a bad heart. I don't believe I'm going to die because of lung cancer. I believe that I'm going to be able to die what I was the thing that I was born for. I believe that I'm going to be able to die high off the people. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting.
As chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Fred was responsible for giving the leadership so that the survival programs could be set up in communities across the city. In Chicago alone, we fed over 3,000 children per week, and that was even before the city had established a free breakfast or a free lunch program. He grabbed this young brother, Doc Satchel, and pulled him into the party, and Doc became the Deputy Minister of Health for the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. And under Chairman Fred's leadership, was able to set up a medical center in Lawndale. You know, just about every year they pick the poorest community in any given city. At this time, Lawndale was supposed to be the most poor, the most depressed, the most oppressed, jobs, lack of jobs, crime, all of this sort of thing. And Ronald Doc Satchel, under Chairman Fred's leadership, in Lawndale set up the Spurgeon Jake Winters Free Medical Center and brought attention to a disease called sickle cell anemia that wasn't part of the medical training at that time, but because of the work of the Black Panther Party and really impacting on the testing for this disease, which just thousands of black people were dying from, it allowed this testing and training to be able to detect sickle cell as part of medical training.
Some of the things, the attributes of Chairman Fred that many people may not know or even understand the deafness or it's probably, or how could I best say, it's not appreciated in its full depth. His objectivity, also Chairman Fred's ability to form principal coalitions. I mean, a lot of times we hear about Chairman Fred's ability to organize the street organizations, what we refer to as the unpoliticized street tribes. We've seen such case examples. Is how when the federal government, the FBI, the major police force of this country, had attempted to get the vice lords to stop the Black Panther Party from organizing one of their survival programs that being the Free Medical Center. And Chairman Fred's ability to win these brothers and sisters to a point of unity, to subsequently win the vice lords to end up working at the Free Medical Center, to even politicize the formerly known devil disciples to a point of unity. They later renowned themselves the black disciples, in their words, due to political education they received from Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party. And a group of poor whites who identified themselves as the Young Patriots. He run these forces to some points of political unity in a Puerto Rican organization, Young Lords. He done it when it was a revolutionary act.
So a simple thing as people setting up or beginning to run the breakfast programs after the Black Panther Party set them up gave people a stake in their own struggle for liberation. So Chairman Fred was a shining example of this. A lot of people that met him and knew him, or seeing him the first time, seeing him speak, seeing how he solved problems, know that he was 200% committed to the freedom and liberation of the people. There has been a lot of movement, discussion around this whole piece of naming a street, the 2300 block of West Monroe in Chicago, Chairman Fred Hampton Way. What difference would it make if a street is named after Chairman Fred Hampton? They name streets after Reverend so-and-so and record artists, just anybody. In Chicago, anybody can have a street name. But all of this uproar about a street being named Chairman Fred, it makes you wonder and look back at how much they have attempted to totally obliterate our history or any semblance of resistance and struggle. See, when you talk about Chairman Fred Hampton, you have to talk about a period of resistance that existed, and some of us lived during that period. It's a period when, it destroys the myth of a happy slave on a plantation. It destroys the myth of we've accepted the brutal conditions that we're forced to live under and never said anything. It's something that happened back in the day, but it's close enough in memory to be a shining example of resistance, of organization, of bringing people together to participate in their own fight for liberation and freedom. And this is a bad symbol, according to the state.
We pray for Sister Madeline Haythcott. We want to thank her for her creativity and her sensitivity.
Myself and Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., who chairs the Prisoners of Conscience Committee, we authored the wording and we submitted the proposal to Alderwoman Madeline Haythcott because 2300 Westmont Road is in her aldermanic district. So we introduced this to her, and Chairman Fred Jr. met with her, and she said she would be glad. This would be a great thing for, you know, young people to know something about black history that, you know, impacted on the whole world. We appreciate any and everybody that is going to support this proposal. And people will come forward to support for their own reasons. But we will fight to defend the legacy of Chairman Fred. He's not going to be watered down to a civil rights leader or somebody that would have been a preacher or whatever. Chairman Fred was a revolutionary.
We don't care who it is. We make, you know what I'm saying, Chairman, whether you like it or not, Chairman Fred, the reason why he was assassinated because he was a revolutionary, and he made it very clear what his occupation was. He's a revolutionary. So it's important that we make sure we fight for this and we maintain it. And regardless of somebody try to go through the eraser, let me just change this history around a little bit. This had was what it uncut. I'm talking about, the cussing, the whole lick. There is an election.
We got an election. We got all kinds of elections.
We're coming out of the March 21st elections, and then we're going to head into the mayoral and aldermanic elections. And we're going to keep tabs on voted, ducked, went to the bathroom.
In theory and in practice, he was consistent about, we don't feel we had to go to the same state that's attacking us as to say, okay, well, this is my wife, this makes my relationship valid, this makes my organization valid, this makes my title valid. The people said it. You follow what I'm saying? It was official. So again, to put that in its correct context, when they done it, sometimes if you're not careful with legacies, you can get mixed up on what you define as revolutionary and what's not revolutionary. These moves were revolutionary moves that Chairman Fred and his organization were involved in. So it's important.
Good morning. We call this press conference to announce that we're initiating a petition drive to petition the City Council to pass the ordinance that was initially passed out of the Committee on Transportation.
It's two interviews. One of the interviews don't have nothing to do with Bobby Rush. The other interview has something to do with the family members who suffered from this. And that's Fred Hampton Jr. Bobby Rush didn't do nothing. He didn't have nothing to do with this. He didn't file for it, he didn't ask for it. And for him to run down here and act like he did something, let him say something. Let the son.
Our position is no justice, no street, no peace. Going to mobilize the street sign there today. The start of the streets going up here, we demand it. We gonna see today, is this true democracy or a daily dictatorship? We know that Ali is under the direction of Gangster Daily Senior, whose daddy played a key role with the assassination of my father, Chairman Fred, the 5th December 4th, 1969. We say no justice, no street, no peace.
We want a thorough investigation of the murder of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. We want Bobby Rush to ask for it. Won't you ask about the Kool-Aid, Bobby Rush? What role did you play in the
Fuck
murder
you and your mama too.
of Fred Hampton and Mark? What part did you play in? What part did you play in? The murder of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. Bobby Rush, you gonna say something about that?
Somebody somewhere knows what happened to Fred this afternoon. So Ted, you motherfucking pigs, get off your dead asses, FBI and Jehu Edgar. Right. You did? And find Fred before 7 o'clock.
You find Fred, motherfucker. Right on. And if anybody's out there with him that's harming him or that kidnapped him and he happens to be a pig, well then we just don't discriminate by whose ass we gonna keep. So y'all go home now and breathe some pieces. What role did you play in the
Fuck you and your mama too. That's to you. That's to you behind. That's to you. That's to you behind the camera.
That's what you want to like the killer that you is. Just like the killer that you is. Don't try to hide it. Got this killer police behind you. Yeah, come on, y'all thought we went up to the press conference. Good. God won't even let the elevators come up so you can tell no more lies. Yeah, we're going to understand. Everybody get on the elevator with us. Come on, everybody get on the elevator. We get on the elevator. Let's get on the elevator. Come on, Mark. Everybody get on the elevator. Come on, Mark. Come on, man. Everybody get on the elevator with Bob Rush.
He hit me. He hit me. This guy hit me. I'm calling the police. He hit me. He pushed me. I'm calling the police. I want the FBI to arrest me. He hit me. We are here. There's a move forward that's further exposed, whether we are dealing with a democracy or a true or daily dictatorship. We know that it's bigger than the street signs. They do not want to talk about Chairman Fred and the assassination that Daley Sr., under his tenure, this went down. They still shoot up Chairman Fred Hampton's tombstone right now. They have not forgotten. They want us to forget the contribution that this revolutionary made for our people. And we say that we're going to make sure that 2307 West Monroe is officially designated by the people as 2307 with Chairman Fred Hampton Wade.
Let us in. 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 Let us in.
Only two aldermen arose to address the street sign, Alderman Dorothy Tillman and Alderman Orinda Troutman. A few days later, the windows of the aldermanic office of Alderman Tillman were cowardly smashed in the wee hours of the morning. Shortly thereafter, in a pre-dawn raid, the police viciously busted down the door of the home of Alderman Troutman. She was arrested and eventually incarcerated in what appears to be a case of selective prosecution.
They murdered Fred Hampton in our clock. While they in their bed. What they do? They were feeding little children. They were standing up at a time when black folks was under attack. I came from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., so I'm a Southern Christian Leadership Conference who fought in the nonviolent movement. But I know that during that struggle, we had all different resistance. We had SNCC, we had CORE, we had NAACP, we had the PAP, and Mark Clark, Fred Hampton, a very brilliant young man, who said we're going to feed our children, we're going to work with our children. They stayed in there, they murdered them, they raised. And it was the federal government that did that. I think it's a sin on this council floor that we're holding just a simple sign. Not only do we have to fight for Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, we went out to school and began to feed these children.
Come on now.
Hey. But I also do not sit here and know that there's a resolution on the floor for a sign. And we having all these discussions about whether or not we should give a sign for Fred Hampton. That's what I got to say.
When the freedom fighters saw that the street sign was not going to be addressed, their tactics changed.
You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighters.
Revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. Power to the people.
Fred Hampton Jr. is his daddy's son.
It's gonna get crazy out here.
Lots of kids that come down.
They go into the floor. Bring the vote to the floor.
Bring the vote to the floor.
Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor.
Bring the vote to the floor.
Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor.
Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor. Bring the vote to the floor.
Was terrorism. They blew this 21-year-old brother's brains out. I'm from the Chicago police. They grabbed his wife and comrade. The Chicago police put a pistol to her stomach. And for all these years, a lot of these Negroes been silent as the lambs, ain't said nothing. While this government locked me up, tried to kill me twice, niggas ain't said nothing. Now it's becoming fast, but it's gonna be front line. This came from the people. I know it's hard for y'all. It's hard for y'all to believe that this came from the people. Y'all don't know how powerful y'all is. They want y'all to believe that you gotta go through a training program. They want you to believe you gotta vote. We ain't saying no vote or die, we say organize a die. Listen here. Everybody benefited from the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? One no free lunch inside no school from the Black Panther Party. One no. Chairman Fred organized the original Rainbow Coalition. You said that's on that. You know what I'm saying? He was inside them cats. See this here, man. We ain't got nothing to do with our chains, I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We'll be here all day. We gonna set up this thing. We'll be continuous. Ain't even no class peace in this city, y'all. No class peace in this city. Daley says Chicago is the great melting pot. And that's what it is. They boiling black bodies. They boiling black bodies. They fighting up Ed Patterson. Y'all ain't said nothing. That's right. They knocking us up. Y'all ain't said nothing. Inglewood. They setting the crowd up in Inglewood. The police over there dropping drugs over there. Setting the farmers over there. That's who's doing it. The police. You want to stop bang banging? You want to talk about 65? Cease the government. That's who's setting the crowd over there. I say again. Make this be the metro over there. Chairman Fred gave his life for y'all. That's right. He gave his life for us. You know what I'm saying? So while us going up here, spending some time up here, the word of Chairman Fred, we ain't just about going to jail or going to the grave. We know it's a price to pay for peace. You know what I'm saying? And we know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do my peace. If you don't struggle for it, it ain't gonna happen. You think they gonna give it to you? You have to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, yeah, let's bang. Let's bang, organize and bang for that street. We're gonna use that street symbol to expose everything that's going on in our community. We're taking the property Cabrini Green projects. We're blocking up Aaron Patterson. We're shooting down Michael Walker Cabrini Green. You know what I'm saying? The houses stole from the flood in our community with dope and crack. The government doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as black on black crime. It's white on black crime. Ain't gonna be no peace in this city. Ain't gonna be no peace in this city unless this street is tradition. You know what I'm saying? Got more, look at that. They got more black police out here on us, y'all. That's right. This here. Chairman Fred said you got pigs of all colors. You got white pigs, you got black pigs, you got pigs of all colors. We say ain't gonna be no peace in this city, y'all, unless this street side thing is addressed, man. No peace. Ain't gonna be no peace in this city, y'all, unless this street side thing is addressed. We got people came up here from New Orleans, Detroit, California, DC. It's gonna get larger and larger. We got hip hoppers, we got street cats, we got everybody up here. This thing came from the people. It came from the valley. And the valley walking up in here gonna demand this issue be addressed. I'm saying, Gangsta Daley is the biggest gang chief in this city. That's right. I'm gonna tell you what Leroy Martin said. The worst gang in Chicago is Chicago Police Department. Yeah, we got a gang problem in Chicago. They do drive
Inglewood as they did in the 60s, like the Woodlawn experiment. They bringing drugs over there. They bringing informants over there. They bringing stool pigeons over there. If you believe the police want to stop gang banging, you believe a pimp want to stop prostitution. They set it up. If you believe the police want to stop gang banging, you believe God King want to stop boxing. They set it up, y'all. They set it up. I'm calling on everybody. The street cats, you want to bang? Bang for freedom. Bang for that street. I'm calling on cats to hip hop. You gonna be a rapper? Rap about this here thing, you know what I'm saying? We saying the sky's the limit, you know what I'm saying? We gonna say this here. Man, ain't no peace in this city unless they address that street. No street, no peace. No street, no peace.
While all the major television networks were taping this demonstration in the city hall of a major U.S. city, it never appeared on TV.
We all go to church, ask your reverends where they was at. Ask your reverends where they was at down here. Call them the question, I'm saying though. Call them the question, man. Expose them. Call them the question, where they at, man. Ask these so-called responsible leaders where they at. Ask where they ain't down here. Call them the question, y'all. They can't have no gang meeting up here and have it done peacefully, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's a new age and day on this plantation, y'all. It's a new age and day on the plantation. They tell you that you can't speak because you ain't got the right training. They tell you can't speak because you ain't went to their church service. You ain't paid your tithes. They tell you that you can't speak for yourself because you ain't got no formal education. We went to the same school that Malcolm X went to, y'all. The penitentiaries and the graveyards. We went to the same school that Malcolm X went to, y'all. The penitentiaries and the graveyards. And we got education. We got enough sense to know. We got enough sense to know this what's going on behind that door ain't right. We got enough sense to know don't no Sam or no Sambo speak for us. We got enough sense to know there should be in our community walls construction just all through our community. Our babies out there can't get a job. We know something right with this here. We know something ain't right about this here. Every time this city wants some property, the crime go up. We know what this decided Henry Hornets, the Cabrini Green projects, the police setting it up. We know the police setting up the crime in Inglewood. We know they gonna create the crime, they come in there with some poverty pimps. You heard what I said. They gonna bring some poverty pimps in there that's gonna get paid of your blood, sweat, tears, and years. The new housing that Daily got planned for us, y'all, is the penitentiaries and the graveyards. The new housing that Daily got planned for us is the penitentiary and the graveyard. If y'all don't fight back, you commit suicide. If you don't fight back, you commit suicide. If y'all don't stand up on this issue here, you might as well just lay it down. I'm telling you, we got to organize on this here, y'all. Call them the question. They got y'all charged up. Somebody get registered to vote. You still being oppressed. You voted, you still dying. You voted, you still dying. I'm telling you, only thing gonna save us ain't no great white hope, ain't no Negro, ain't nobody get to see the New Orleans. Ain't nobody gonna save us but us. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna save us but us. So you let the world know. Let the world know. We coming up there as we are. As we are, from the valley, from the streets, gonna shake this right, and gonna shake it up. We saying ain't gonna be no peace in this city. We got forces coming in from all over the world in this here. The people love Chairman Fred, December 1969. The people love Chairman Fred right now today. Y'all killed y'all in this daily daddy. They assassinated Chairman Fred in a strategic type of way. It was designed to scare you. They scared a lot of folks, y'all. They scared a lot of y'all parents. They were scared to tell y'all who Fred Hampton was. They scared y'all so bad, they told you the Black Panther Party was a gang. That's right. They scared you so bad, they told you that somebody else organized the Rainbow Coalition. You knew the business. You knew that wasn't no free lunches inside no schools. The Black Panther Party started feeding them babies. You knew the business. You knew who started death for sickle cell limits in the black community. You knew the business. You know who politicized the different street organizations. You know the business, but they had you scared to talk about it. I'm telling you, it's a new age and day on the plantation. I'm telling you right now today, people say, well, Chairman Fred, when he said about the pigs, that was back then. What he said then, we ain't copping no pleas from him. It was relevant then, it's relevant now. It's relevant now. The pigs still gunning us down. The pigs still gunning us down. Anything that the oppressed do to get the oppressed off his back is justified. That's right. Anything that the oppressed do to get the oppressed off his back is justified. Whatever Harriet Tubman did, she was right. Whatever Nat Turner did, he was right. Whatever Marcus Garvey did, he was right. Whatever Malcolm X did or said, he was right. And whatever Chairman Fred said, we stand on, he was right. You know what I'm saying? Chairman Fred said, a lot of times people wonder why we ain't scared to do what we do. A lot of y'all wonder that. Like we said, well, people must be getting paid up or something. Chairman Fred said, We are two, listen to me closely. Chairman Fred said we are too proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated to be astronomically intimidated. In other words, that means I'm too high up the people to be shook up. We have the people. Y'all have? Yeah! We have the people. Make sure y'all put out 3 o'clock, y'all. We're gonna be on that slave owner, they ain't gotta go, y'all. Monroe gotta go. Monroe gotta go, y'all. 2337 West Chairman Fred Hampton Way. Chairman, all Jefferson owns all them. They want y'all, that's right. They want you to look up the slave owners. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be a twin. That's right. 3 o'clock, we gonna be there. We gonna organize, as a matter of fact, y'all, I hope y'all think this over. We gonna go out there and gather some more forces. We gonna take this to the street. We taking this to the hip hop circles. We taking this to the street corners. We taking it to your alderman office. No street, no peace. No street, no peace. No street, no peace. No street, no peace. No, we're gonna mobilize, we're gonna put on these streets. There's gonna be no peace in these streets unless you address that street side. That's right, don't be scared, brother. That's why we talk about this kid to our friend Hampton. Chairman Fred Hampton was assassinated by this city, y'all. And you had to talk about it, y'all. That's right. He said something about the king. He said off the king. That's right. The king still a prisoner. That's right. We say that's right. Let the record play. There'll be no peace in this city. Let that street side address. Take it back to the gang chief. Let them know. No street, no peace. 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 No street, no peace.
We're going to make sure that people understand what happened here, who this brother is. We're going to make them understand like they make people understand who Abraham Lincoln is, who George Washington is, who Christmas addicts is. And we're going to make them understand who Chairman Fred is, and for the sake of our children. And we must stand up and be women and men, and to set an example for all the children that come behind. That when you stand up and you fight for freedom and for what's right, the people united will never be defeated.
I think that it's very important that this street be named after Fred Hampton Sr. because of all the good things that he's been able to accomplish while he was here. I mean, the programs that he was able to start still continue. To me, justice would be served if this street could be named after Fred Hampton Sr.
If we can get the street up in the air, maybe we can get the spirit of Fred Hampton in our hearts, in our minds, and we can become walking, talking, breathing, acting manifestation of Chairman Fred Hampton.
36 years later, that the FOP can walk up into City Council when they're preparing to name the street for Fred and turn around and disrupt it. These are the murderers, you know, the kids and the grandkids of the people who murdered Chairman Fred's father.
99% of the streets in America are named after dead slave masters. And so why can't we have our heroes and sheroes on the names of streets?
The bottom line is, in this whole process of naming the 2300 block of West Monroe Chairman Fred Hampton Way, whether the city approves it or not, it has created such a stir and has even given people to the ability to see a lot of politicians, religious leaders that they thought were fighting in their interests, in fact, have a different agenda. And that goes along with different efforts to co-opt this whole struggle to name the street Chairman Fred Hampton Way. Whether the city approves it or not, the people have spoken. And that is Chairman Fred Hampton Way.
We say this is officially by the people who be designated as 2337. That site on our ground zero now is Chairman Fred Hampton Way.
Long live Chairman Fred! 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 Long live Chairman Fred!